additional program from Viewpoint for the Town Clerk's office for licensing. I guess I'll ask the Town Clerk to explain that.
So I am looking to expand on the e-permitting system that is currently in effect called Viewpoint. They have a business license program that will help us organize and keep better track of approvals for all business licenses, business registrations, and dog licenses. It does not come out of the general budget. We have a record retention account that comes from our reporting fees. We get 10% back from the state, and that is allowed to be used towards technology within our department. So it would actually come from that account, and we generally get about $30,000 a year for that, and we are nowhere near using that yearly, so we have the money for it.
The administrator have a comment?
No, I support.
That's a comment. That's what I was wondering. What is the council's pleasure?
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Motion
Second.
by Mrs. Walensky, second by Mrs. O'Hara. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Barnwell?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. O'Shea?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vacy?
Yes. You need to sign anything for that? Discussion by council vote other action on awarding bid to PMA for the AV system installation for new council chambers, Mr. Ezovski.
Okay, we have
Thank you, excuse me. I'll get there, excuse me. All right, thank you. We have a proposal from, well, I pursued proposals from 3 companies. There was a 4th that I did not present because it was so dramatically out of range. The proposal that I offer to you that I believe is appropriate for the town to engage PMA Industries, as I previously described. That quote is for a total of $17,797. It would get us a permanently mounted projector in the ceiling of the new council chamber, a large screen that is retractable for display that will be much more readable than what we have here. Because of the size of the room, not to criticize this, it's just, you can only do so much with it.
We'll be able to see without turning around.
It's a good system.
We're going to get a sunburn off of it? I mean, what's going
No, it will be, if you, I don't know how we can lay this out, but the door that you are accustomed to walking into in the auditorium of Kendall Dean, your council dais was on the left side of the room in front of the stage, and you were facing the right. The way this room will be laid out is you'll be on the long wall, the back wall, opposite the door that you would enter, and facing the audience. The screen would be on the wall to the far right, so to your left is the council. So the projector will be in the middle of the room. Nobody gets sunburned, and I'm sure that it will be easy to read and functional in a way that will not give us these things. These microphones are the style that we will use there. These, in fact, do belong to the municipal side as opposed to the school department. We'll be taking these and then adding to them to have enough microphones, one for every station. Plus a roving microphone to be able to handle anyone who cannot get to a podium, as we start to think about the accommodation of people that can come to meetings and be able to get into that room, and to have devices for the hard of hearing as well. So it is a full system that I think will serve the council quite well. So I encourage you and look for your approval of the award. And by the way, all of the vendors are from the state master price agreements at $17,797 for the base system. In addition to that, I think we do need to be forward thinking and embrace the opportunity to have equipment that is appropriate to the task as opposed to portable devices that we have been using. That is an additional $9,987 that I also encourage to be approved and my office being given the authority to sign.
You've heard the recommendation of the administrator to approve PMA Industries base bid of $17,797 with the alternate of $9,987.
Can I ask
Was
a
the
question?
council's budget?
Can I ask a question?
Let's
Gary?
get a motion. and
Oh,
a
sorry.
second to discuss.
I'll make a motion to approve the base bid of $17,797 for PMA for AV system installation with the add-on of $9,987 for live streaming.
Second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Dozier, second by Mrs. O'Hara. Discussion, Ms. Dozier.
So when it is hosted, right, for the live streaming, would that be a link on the website, or do they help us in integrating that piece, or is it just streamed through YouTube, or do we know?
What we're purchasing is only the equipment.
Okay.
The same methodology that we have now will be creating the DVDs, but we will be able to go right to the web through the servers and the fiber line that is in the new building.
Okay.
This is just hardware, no software, just hardware purchase.
It's the missing link.
I have a question. I'm not a technocrat, but I'm looking at PMA's Industries, page 1 of 2, and they're talking about a Maxell 7500 lumen projector, medium probe motorized lens projector. There's no price on that. And I look at the pricing as they've outlined, and I'm looking at Shanix, one of the other bidders, and they're talking about a Panasonic unit, 5,000 lumens, and that's $3,999. They list the price. I'm just not sure of the way PMA went at this. Am I missing their itemized pricing here? Because they go from that hearing impaired receiver installed, $1,499. Then they talk about loom projector, and then at the bottom, it adds up to $15,127 with the additional cost in there, $792 to $370. It does come to $1,770. I don't know how they're laying this out, Gary. Can you explain it?
The $17,797 includes all of the quantities that are indicated on the left-hand side.
Yeah, got it. But,
They haven't gone through the individual pricing.
no unit pricing. Okay. You're comfortable with it, Gary?
Yes, I am.
All right. So there's a motion, there's a second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mrs. Garmold?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes. Is there also a motion to authorize the administrator to sign?
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Dozier, second by Mrs. Bonioli. Roll call vote.
Mrs. Garmold?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Rozier?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Vadeney?
Yes. That will be on tomorrow. That will be installed tomorrow.
No, they're working late tonight.
How long on the order? How long on the order do we have? We're not getting anywhere till spring.
They're not holding us up, let me put it that way.
Okay.
We're welcoming, the project is gonna come together kind of at the same time right now. We're lining things up, they're all coming together in good shape.
What it does do is give us the ability to locate the power supply for the projector needs to be on that location.
Next item, discussion by council, what other action on awarding bid to New England Lawn Sprinkler Company, Inc. for the municipal annex playground irrigation system. We have a bid in the amount of $14,632. Assuming that it has the recommendation of the finance director and the recs director. Is the council's pleasure.
Mr. Bennett, yes, once.
Okay, let me just make a comment before we vote.
Yep.
Thank you. I didn't want to.
No,
I
no.
didn't want to interrupt. This is in reference to the grant that Mr. Kravitz left before I really got to speak to him about it. I've been kind of busy, and in light of another bid, not a quote for the paving part of this I've received. I've actually received two, and the numbers are so far out. Nothing to do with this, but it does in actuality. This is my recommendation I made after the bids went out, and since that time I've done some other quotes for other parts of this project. I'm not comfortable with one bid. As much as I made this recommendation tonight, I'm never comfortable with one bid. And it's high. It's higher than I really want to pay for a playground. So I would.
How big is the playground?
It's the length of the back of the Bushy School, but
What size about?
the paving is,
80 by
over
100
400 feet.
Huh?
So paving is over 400 feet.
400 square feet.
100 linear feet, the track, probably 200, 500.
So how much grass?
Not a lot of grass. A lot of
So
heads.
that's a lot of irrigation for no grass.
Well, it's a lot of heads, which I'm trying to figure out where the road going. But we're looking at this today, and I'm not comfortable with this bid, to be quite honest with you. I understand that this is on the fast track, this park, because we have a deadline at the end of April. I still think we have time to play with this a little bit. So I would respectfully request if we could just table this, so I can do a little more homework on it. There were two people present for the pre-bid, and only one person bid. So I was comfortable if I had two bids, but that didn't transpire. So I would like to put it off so I can do a little more homework on it.
Further recommendation?
Yeah, I'll make that motion. Ray, how much time do you think you need?
A couple weeks.
Alright.
Can you give me I may have to rebid it also.
Beginning of, you gotta rebid it.
Well, I might have to. Or I may have to change the scope, and if I change the scope, then I'll have to rebid it.
Just take no action, we'll come back.
No pressure.
There's no action taken.
Extra 2 days.
You don't need to take any action, there's no action taken at this time. Okay? We'll bring it back at a later date.
Yeah.
Next item, discussion by council, what other action on awarding bid to AEP Fence Services for the municipal annex playground fencing.
Can I ask a question? Or do you want a
Well,
motion?
let's,
Well, Ray, does Ray want to talk about it?
yeah, do you have any comments before we do it?
The only comment that I would have, I have to tell you, I do a lot of bids, and I'll tell you what, the bid process gets creative every day. And in this particular case, we had an alternate, and the alternate was the bottom rail, which comes from what I'm always well aware of what that process is. And at the pre-bid meeting, we asked all three vendors if they felt that they needed this with kids climbing on fences and so on and so forth, and they all agreed. So we made that a bid, an alternate to the bid. With their recommendation, all three vendors, I made the suggestion, or I made the recommendation to go with the ad alternate. So whatever you want to do, the price can go either way. I personally, I don't really care. You're gonna have a bunch of little kids jumping on a fence, or maybe not. So,
Personally,
and I know.
from experience, there's no need for a bottom rail. There are no dogs. This is not a security feature. Put a tension wire, because tension will hold the fabric down, but you don't need the bottom rail.
And they talk about that.
And the bottom rail is also more expensive when you need to repair things. But you don't need a bottom rail.
And I wasn't surprised that all three vendors said yes, obviously. The part that I, and I'm not going to break up their whole bid, but It's a difference of $1,156 if you take the alternate off the top two bids.
Yeah, United Fence, yeah.
United Fence, I mean, they got creative with their bottom rail. So, I've seen it in the paving jobs where they in the bid, they pay $1 for a flagger. And that's how they get in the game. So, I made my recommendation. Whatever you want to do is fine with me.
Motion for more time, do we get a motion? Do we need a motion now?
Do we need more time? I don't think we need more time on this one.
So, I mean,
You want to just get all, the whole thing together? And
yeah,
bring it
if
in?
you want to put it all.
Table it and then we'll just
That's fine with me.
get it all at once and you'll feel good
They're not
about
putting
it.
a fence in the next few months, so.
Do you know if they,
How long has it been good for?
How long has it been good for?
90 days
I
normally?
think it's 90
So we
days.
still have time.
Oh, I'll have it well before that because of.
No, I mean, we already have this bid, I'm just saying, we have this bid in hand. So, I don't want to let it lapse, so we have to go back out to bid.
I think it's 90 days.
They were open on 129, so I think we're, even if it's 60 days, we're still good.
So, Ray, this fence doesn't have to be watered on a regular basis, does it?
It's a 3-foot fence, it will become 6 feet.
I'm tying it into the irrigation, never mind.
The big question that I have,
You got it.
as we're getting all the quotes in for this park, is the prices are going up for all the elements of, and that's something I'm going to speak with Tom about. If I have to conform to all of the elements that the prior planner put into this park. So, with the cost of the paving, which I just got, is quite high. I want to know if I have to legally, or if I can not have to abide by all of that. So that's why I'm kind of pushing everything off a little bit.
You are.
Getting upset. I said talking money, I get nervous.
can you find out if they're looking before the ad alternate, if they're putting a tension wire?
They actually talked about that, and they said that that's like a waste of time. All three of them. Like,
Expert witness, what do you think?
I know.
A tension wire holds it down. This is not a security issue that you're going to have dogs pushing or digging underneath it. That is why you put a bottom rail.
Now, if we say that's a park for senior citizens also, will they give us a discount?
Absolutely.
The problem is the prevailing wage. That's what's going to
Oh, David Spade, thank you very much, Congressman.
Does this all done?
So I'll come back with both.
Okay, no action taken.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, discussion by council vote other action on awarding bid to MHQ municipal vehicles for police 2020 Ford Explorer SUV and Interceptor. Council take this guy?
No. No, thank you. Mr. President, members of the council, you see that we have two bids from MPA vendors. The low bid being from MHQ, just a few dollars under Island Tech at $49,710, and I encourage your consideration and approval to order this cruiser, please. The funding will be coming from the police cruiser account.
Detail account? Further recommendation of the administrator, what is the pleasure of the council?
Motion to approve, Mr. President.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Bonioli to award the bid to MHQ Municipal Vehicles for a 2020 Ford Explorer SUV Interceptor in the amount of $49,710. Any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Mrs. Bonneville?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara?
Yes.
Mr. Legier?
Yes.
Mrs. Zelinski?
Yes.
Mr. Bennett?
Yes. Motion to adjourn.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Zelinski, second by Mrs. Bonioli. This is